There are so many LEGO games, and in this video we are going to be looking at who is the hardest character to unlock from every single LEGO game, and I'm also going to put the hardest characters to unlock into a tier list on how good I think they are, and are they worth the grind. Let's go. Our first LEGO game on the list, it's LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Before this LEGO game released in 2007, there were plans to make Darth Plagueis, yes, the one from the famous tragedy, to be the hardest character to unlock. This is supported by data found in the game's files, and to unlock him you would have needed 100% completion, which takes around 40 hours, but unfortunately he never made it in. I mean, you can create a bootleg version of him in the character customizer if you want. Instead, what we did get, a stud fountain. Yay, my favourite. So in the end, who became the hardest character to unlock in the final game? Well, it goes to all of the Force Ghosts. Now, unlike a lot of the later LEGO games which made obtaining certain characters quite tough, you can get all the characters in this game by simply beating the story. The last lot of characters you unlock are IG-11, Dengar, 4-LOM, and then the Force Ghosts, and all of the Force Ghosts cost over 1 million, with Yoda being the most, crowning him as the hardest character to unlock. Okay, so where do I put our little green friend? I am gonna go and place him in A tier, as I just do not think he is quite S tier. I mean, it's nice that all of the enemies ignore you and they are invincible, and it is funny hiding inside of animals. I'll give you a second to guess where I am. Yep, I'm in the Bantha. Later, I may move him up into S tier, but I know that there are a lot of better, harder characters to unlock coming up, so he's staying in A tier for now. It always confused me how Force Ghosts can wear hats in this game. I am a ghost. At least they can wear a fedora like everyone's favourite adventurer. Next up, it's LEGO Indiana Jones, The Original Adventures. Everyone seems to believe that Han Solo is the hardest character to unlock inside LEGO Indiana Jones, and that is completely wrong. He is actually kind of easy to get. He is like the original Stan Lee in peril. But instead of 50 Stan Lees to rescue, you have to rescue 5 Star Wars characters in certain levels, and then you unlock him. When you finish the story of LEGO Indiana Jones, 4 characters are still locked away, with one of them being Han Solo, and the other 3 are actually the toughest characters to get, as you need to 100% all 6 levels in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Then you can play the bonus level Young Indy, which is the best LEGO game bonus level, and TT Games have honestly slacked off with bonus levels. We used to get super creative bonus levels, and now we get nothing or a horrible 1 million stud level. I think I'll rather have nothing. Anyway, once you finally beat the Young Indy bonus level, you unlock Young Indy, Boy Scout, and Fedora, and in terms of the characters, they are nothing special, and I'm gonna have to place all 3 into the tier list, and I'm gonna put Boy Scout in D tier. He is a bit boring. Young Indy and Fedora are going to go in C tier. Young Indy is a really nice variation, and he does everything Indiana Jones does. And then there is Fedora, who is literally Indiana Jones with a gun instead of a whip. And why did TT Games call him Fedora? I will never know, when his actual name is Garth. You might as well change his name to Indiana Jones got his hat from this guy. They are just disrespecting him. Honestly, the grind to get these characters was super fun, and it just did not feel tedious, and that's what makes me like the characters a little bit more. And that bonus level is seriously better than some of the main levels in the game. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Motorcycle Escape. Next up, it's time to head over to Gotham and get some drive-through. It's LEGO Batman the video game. Meow, meow. Hush and Ra's al Ghul are the 2 hardest characters to get in LEGO Batman the video game, and straight away I'm gonna slap Ra's al Ghul into B tier, and he is the hardest character of the 2 to get, and if it wasn't for his green pants, I would have put him in C tier, seriously. This character is just a bit underwhelming for beating literally all 30 levels in free play. 300 minikits for a reskin of Nightwing with heart regeneration is not enough, and if you look at the DS version of LEGO Batman the video game, there are so many better characters they could have replaced Ra's al Ghul with, like Firefly. Oh, he is so good in LEGO Batman 3, and with the game only having 46 characters, they could have spent a little bit more time making the final character feel a bit more special. Looking at it, obviously, it does make sense for Ra's al Ghul to be the final character you get. He did train Batman, but I just find him super dull in the LEGO games, even in LEGO Batman 2. He works well in other Batman media. Out of Ra's al Ghul and Hush, I've got to say I prefer Hush. His character design is super clean in this game. I love his red hands, and he plays very similar to Two-Face, but with some new animations that makes him stand out, whereas Ra's al Ghul literally has the same animations as Nightwing. Yeah, get back to Lazarus Pit. Next, what do you do when your house is full of ants? Grab a giant blue skull, of course. It's Lego Indiana Jones, the adventure continues. It shouldn't have. I'm joking. Remember the old Lego Games shops, those cozy little places where you could just walk in, check out the roster, buy a character? Well, this game threw all of that out of the window. In Lego Indiana Jones 2, instead of a simple shop, they changed it to where you have to run around the map for what feels like ages to find and purchase characters. Now, if you have played a newer open world Lego game, this will sound familiar, but this Lego game doesn't have a minimap, which makes it 10 times more difficult to find characters. And the hardest character to track down is the interdimensional being, as you have to finish the entire game, then buy a UF4, I know how very Indiana Jonesy, beat a race with clunky handling, yeah, this is definitely extraterrestrial, and then you can buy the interdimensional being. I already know where I am putting this guy. He is going straight into S tier. TT Games went all out on this dude. He is one of the top 10 best looking Lego game characters ever made. Every single animation on him is just chef's kiss. I have never seen anyone climb a ladder so majestically, and look at the way he holds onto this bar with just one hand. This is going to sound really harsh, but he is honestly the best thing to come out of this game, and I know a lot of people are not a fan of the way he attacks. He kind of gives enemies a headache, but I think it works. It feels very alien. Looking at the tier list, he is currently the best hardest character to get, so let's see if anyone else beats him. Next up, take it away, Ernie. It's going to be a bumpy ride. It's Lego Harry Potter The Collection. Normally, I'll tackle the Lego Harry Potter games one by one, but come on, let's face it, it's basically one gigantic game now, like the complete saga. I mean, we've had the collection twice. Thankfully, I really like the Lego Harry Potter games, and the hardest character to unlock in the collection is the Milkman. Nah, I'm only messing with you. It's Lord Voldemort in years 1 to 4, making you collect all 200 gold bricks and beat a bonus level to unlock him. And yes, it's a 1 million stud level. Now, by far the hardest part of getting him is collecting the gold bricks inside of Hogwarts. It is more confusing than the Triwizard Maze, and it really doesn't help when the gold brick detectors are broken, plus you do not have a minimap. Now, where am I going to put Lord Voldemort on the tier list? I am going to be real with you guys. I honestly prefer the other variations of Voldemort in this game, like Quirrell Voldemort with his 2 heads. It's weird and goofy, and I love it. I'm gonna put him in B tier and definitely put him above Ra's al Ghul. He is powerful, but he's not that different to all the other dark wizards in the game. Lego Dimensions did him justice. Oh, what a good offer! I love that special ability. Next, we are heading over to a galaxy far, far away in Lego Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars. Now, did you know that this Lego game has one of the hardest character rosters to complete because they locked so many characters behind getting all 10 mini-kits on each level, which I've actually come to really appreciate. I feel it's more rewarding than unlocking a model to stare at in the hub, and let's be honest, who actually looks at these? I mean, I guess you could build them in real life. Now, there are 21 characters hidden behind collecting 10 mini-kits per level, but surprisingly, those aren't even the hardest characters to unlock. Instead, it goes to Chancellor Palpatine and Grand Moff Tarkin, who are by far the worst hardest characters, and they are going straight into D tier. They do nothing. All they have is a puny blaster, and to get them, you need to complete all of the Galactic Assault levels, which takes a long time, and you will 100% need the Super Speeder Extra, which costs 40 million. Even with this extra, you will still fail most of the time, as these missions are timed and can be really tough to beat for a Lego game. Do not get me wrong, I love what Lego Star Wars 3 did with these Galactic Assault levels, and they are a breath of fresh air, especially when you come back after playing other Lego games, but they just shove them down your throat a bit too much. I like them, but chill. They should have switched to these 2 characters with 2 mini-kit characters like Starkiller and Battle Damage Vader, as they would have been a better reward instead of, you know, 2 old men. You take that back, young man. I'm a good character. Oh, grab your compass and give us a cheeky wink, matey, as next up it's Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. This Lego game feels like a throwback to what many people call the golden era of Lego games. It honestly brings everything back to basics. Simple level starts, a compact hub world, and an easy character unlocking system. As once you beat the final level, all the characters are available to buy. Very similar to the complete Saga, but this Lego game is even easier, as none of the characters are very expensive, and you can get all of the red bricks super fast in the hub world. Pair this on top of the cheeky stud farming tactic in level 1, which is so easy. You can speed up the process super fast, and to do the stud farming tactic, all you do is start level 1, head over to this door, blow it up, and all the studs inside this room are doubled, even with a multiplier on, and then you collect them all, simply back out and reload the level. After a few minutes, you will have enough studs to buy all the red bricks, and then you can run around and buy all the remaining characters in the hub world like a madman. None of the characters are hard to unlock, but technically the hardest character to get is Blackbeard, as you unlock him last, and it does get really annoying when you are trying to find the last character in the hub world and he will not spawn in. This is why the Lego games shops are better. Honestly, they should bring them back in the newer Lego games too. It just feels better to buy a character from a shop instead of from the roster. It always felt a bit cheap to me and easy. Okay, so Blackbeard is going straight into S tier. There is no other character like him in Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, and I'm gonna go and put him above the interdimensional being. I love his red lightning, and this goes back to what I said about Ra's al Ghul in Lego Batman 1. The last character should feel special, and Blackbeard definitely does. The older Lego games have had their time in the spotlight, but it is now time to embrace the newer Lego games, starting off with Lego Batman 2, where everything got bigger apart from the character roster. Now, everyone knows the pain of trying to get the final character in Lego Batman 2, who ended up being Supergirl, a gender swap of Superman who you get in level 5 of the game. I am glad that she is in the game, and she is not a terrible character, but for 100% completion, she is very underwhelming. We have had Superman all this time. I'm not going to ditch Bro for Supergirl. He's been my go-to guy for nearly all of the game, and it just feels like Supergirl was not meant to be the final character, as in the game's files you can find Darkseid, and his character model is nowhere near complete. The developers probably ran out of time, and I think they should have just put Brainiac as the 100% reward. Since he was teased in the post-credit scene, I think that would have been a bit more suitable. I'm gonna go and put Supergirl into B tier, and you will find out why later on. It will all make sense. Get ready to fly, you fools, over to Middle-earth on an eagle next to Lego Lord of the Rings. In most Lego games, to unlock the final character, you typically have to collect all of the gold bricks and hit 100%, but Lego Lord of the Rings decided to scrap gold bricks and they introduced mithril bricks. You find them the exact same way as gold bricks scattered across the open world, but the big difference is you can actually use them to craft epic mithril items at the blacksmiths, and that little dude there is actually the hardest character to get in the game, because you need to craft all of the mithril items, basically get all the gold bricks. But the difference is you actually get rewarded as you go along, and it doesn't feel like one long grind to get the final character like Lego Batman 2, because you are constantly unlocking brand new mithril items. Now, in terms of gameplay, the blacksmith is literally just Gimli with a fresh trim. Okay, so where do I put the blacksmith? I'm gonna go and place him in C tier between young Indy and the hat guy. Now, weirdly, when you hit 100%, you also get another character in Lego Lord of the Rings, and that character is Lurtz Newborn. Basically, Lurtz with just underwear on. Spider-Man PS4 did that. Now, you might be wondering, why is the blacksmith harder to unlock than Lurtz when you get them both at the exact same time? Well, here's the catch. If you are a little cheater, you can actually unlock Lurtz Newborn super early with a cheat code, but there is no cheat code for the blacksmith. so he is going down as the hardest. Next is the one LEGO game I will never get tired of. It's LEGO Marvel Superheroes, baby! Everyone seems to think Stan Lee is the hardest character to unlock in LEGO Marvel Superheroes, or Deadpool, but these are not even the hardest characters to get. I mean, it's not easy to get Stan Lee. You have to go out and rescue 50 Stan Lees in peril, and then for Deadpool, you need at least 200 gold bricks because you have to play all of the Deadpool levels and then collect all of the Deadpool bricks inside of them. So then, who is the hardest character to unlock? Well, it's Aunt May. Yeah, this ain't even a joke. To get Aunt May, you first need to unlock Deadpool, and then you gotta complete all 3 of his side quests in the open world, and these missions are absolutely hilarious. Take a listen to this.
Third quest. So you know what that means? The designers have probably run out of ideas. Let's beat up a set number of bad guys. Extra points if you see them spawn in.
Aunt May is going straight into D tier. I've got to admit, it is pretty hilarious to see her run around and smack people with a handbag, especially Peter Parker. This is the prequel to Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. You know when he had to beat the old lady with a stick? I get why he did it. Grannies are tough. Aunt May has to be at the top of D tier though. She is a lot more fun to play than them other old farts. Hang on guys, I hear an emergency. Buckle up, it's time to go full Miami Vice. Next up, it's LEGO City Undercover. It is crazy that this LEGO game has 314 characters to collect, which is a lot for a 2013 LEGO game. LEGO Marvel Superheroes dropped the exact same year, and that game only has 148. Out of the 300 plus characters, Rex Fury Astronaut is by far the hardest character to get in this game, as you need to reach the highest point in all 20 districts across the map. You gotta traverse difficult areas, and what's annoying is that the game doesn't really help you on where you need to go to start them. That's what makes it so hard. Once you do figure it out though, they are super fun, and the views of LEGO City are spectacular. Honestly, this is such an amazing way to get players to appreciate how great this open world is, and in my opinion, it is better than all of the Skywalker Saga planets combined. LEGO City actually feels lived in, and all the districts are based on different cities around the world. It's basically just LEGO GTA. Now, where do I put good old Rex Fury? It's either A or B tier. I'm gonna go with A tier. The astronaut disguise is definitely the best disguise in this game. You have a jetpack that is 100 times better than the LEGO Star Wars game jetpacks, and when you enable the Super Blaster Extra, you just become unstoppable. I do have a problem with this disguise though, and that is how when you stun enemies, you cannot handcuff them. This is the perfect opportunity to arrest them. Why does it not let me? Oh no! Next, it's LEGO Movie, the video game. If you take away the 1 million Emmett appearances in this LEGO game, you actually have a decent character roster. They just put them all on the top row to make the roster look bigger, I swear. The hardest character to unlock in this game is Lord Business and President Business, and you get them by simply beating the story, and then you have to go and buy them for 1 million studs each. Now, as for the tier list, I feel like I'm gonna place President Business in B tier, definitely above the Green Pants guy, and Lord Business is going at the bottom of A tier. He is nowhere near as good as the others. I have put them here because with both characters you can equip Lord Business's super long legs from the movie, and honestly, they're just so daft and hilarious. Kicking your co-op partner around like he is a football never gets old, and the sound effects really sell it. You may be wondering, why is Lord Business a tier higher? Well, that's because he has the Craggle, which is the same as Iceman's Ice Beam in LEGO Marvel Superheroes. It's just broken. A character who goes around squirting super glue on people is something I would not expect to see in a LEGO game, but LEGO Movie did it, and because of how strange it is and his long legs, Lord Business has got to go in A tier. Time to do the Bat Tootsie. Next up, it's LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Is Is this the worst Lego Batman game? A lot of people think so, and I agree, but there's one thing they absolutely nailed with the third Lego Batman game, and that's the characters. The game even had its own version of Stan Lee with Adam West, who is actually the second hardest character to unlock in the game, but the thing is, Adam West just didn't live up to the hype like Stan Lee. Stan Lee nearly had every ability and felt special to play, whereas Adam West was a bit of a letdown. All he can do is throw a batarang and do the Bat Tootsie dance, which is his idle animation. Credit where it's due though, I like how it kicks in instantly, so he just dances all the time. So if he is the second hardest character to unlock in the game, who is the hardest? Well, that will go to Batmite. Unlocking Batmite is really confusing because his quests are scattered all over and you have to do a fetch quest in every level, plus more in the open world. And the problem is there isn't a detector to help guide you, whereas there is with Adam West, which makes him a lot easier to get. The character token detector can help you, but it doesn't really narrow it down, and his questline is so confusing, most people just end up unlocking Batmite by accident. Because he is Batmite and he is such a cool character to have, I'm gonna place him in B tier above President Business. He's got some cool animations, he can fly and teleport, but he just feels a little bit underpowered for a late game character. I love him though, they should bring him back in the next Lego Batman game. Look at him. They're taking the Hobbits to Isengard. Oops, that's from the wrong trilogy. Never mind. Next, it's Lego Hobbit. Now, guess who's back as the hardest character to unlock? Oh yes, Blacksmith's back. And they actually gave him a name this time. He is called Jim Lee the Blacksmith. How original. All jokes aside though, they actually made the Blacksmith really good in this game. He has an ability no other character has called Perfect Forge. And then they gave him a Hulk Smasher tag, and he can pair up with all the other dwarves in Lego Hobbit, making him a strong character because that is vital to this game. So I am gonna go and put this version of the Blacksmith in B tier just above Ra's al Ghul, because honestly he is a lot stronger and I enjoy being him more than Ra's al Ghul. Next up, you really have to spare no expense to unlock this character, or shall I say dinosaur. It's Lego Jurassic World. I think I can speak for everyone here. Nobody plays Lego Jurassic World for the boring human characters. We're all here for the dinosaurs, of course, and TT Games knew this. That is why they made the dinosaurs a lot harder to get. More specifically, the skeleton dinosaurs, as first you need the regular dinosaur, of course, which you get by collecting an amber brick in each of the game's main levels. Each level gives you a different dinosaur, and to get the skeleton version, you need all 10 mini-kits on that level, which gave you that dinosaur. Now, I am not going to put all of these skeleton dinosaurs into the tier list. I'm just going to group them all together, and they have to go at the top of S tier, no doubt about it. The skeleton dinosaurs are just gorgeous. My top 3 favorites are the Mosasaurus, the Spinosaurus, and the Brachiosaurus. This thing is massive, Godzilla. Where you at, mate? You may be sat there saying, well, some of the dinosaurs are not even in the roster and you have to call them in like a vehicle, so why am I counting them as characters? Well, the difference is they are not a vehicle, as you do actually play as the dinosaur, and obviously the game wouldn't work if you could just literally be a T-Rex anywhere. As for the boring human characters, you get about 80% of them by just beating the game's story. As for the last 20%, you do have to go out and find them in the open world, and the hardest character to get was Dennis Nerdy, otherwise known as Al from Toy Story 2, because you need the spitty dinosaur. You gotta give him that anyway. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. Up next, it's Lego Dimensions. Lego Dimensions was sadly discontinued on October 23rd, 2017, but back in the glory days of Lego Dimensions, the hardest character to find and obtain was Supergirl, because she was only available with the PS4 base game of Lego Dimensions, and the problem were that this bundle dropped towards the very end of 2016, and most people already owned the game because it came out in 2015, and they didn't want to buy the base game again for just one character. You can still find her today on eBay for a hefty price. I ended up paying over $70 for her, so she's going in S tier. I'm joking. in, but seriously, she is going in S tier. Because of this. Behold, Red Lantern Supergirl. We gotta see that transformation again, and this is not just an outfit swap. It gives her even more abilities like grapple, which you will need a lot in this game, and I mean a lot, and her voice lines even change when she puts on the Red Lantern ring. Anyway, time to stand in a circle and look super cool. It's LEGO Marvel Avengers next. The hardest character to unlock in LEGO Marvel Avengers is none other than the legend himself, Stan Lee, and out of the 3 Stan Lees across the LEGO Marvel games, this version of Stan Lee is far superior to the others. LEGO Marvel 2 definitely has the worst Stan Lee. His Make Mine Marvel shield is nice, but they took away so much from him. He cannot even turn into Stan Hulk. Like, what the? Come on, you already know where Stan Lee is going. He is going to the top of S tier. Supergirl wasn't at the top for very long. 3 epic transformations for one character is mental for a LEGO game, and we all know how powerful he is. Tony Stark delivers his Iron Stan armor. Stan Lee will forever be in our hearts, and he is one of the most incredible human beings ever. I am so glad TT Games made him one of the best LEGO game characters. Dun 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 dun. Where is the guide to unlock Luke Skywalker? Next, it's LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. I do not really like this LEGO game very much, and these days there is no point in playing it when you have the Skywalker saga. The levels are drawn out and the planets get super dull super fast. But I loved what they did with the carbonite bricks. These were such a cool way to unlock Star Wars characters from other trilogies. Seeing the carbonite melt and you do not know who will be in it. These are by far the hardest characters to get in the game, because in total there are 35 carbonite bricks and you have to go out your way and track down each and every one of them. And the hardest carbonite brick character to collect of them all was Count Dooku. So many people got stuck on trying to get him, as you have to beat this bounty hunter mission for the carbonite brick to appear, and once it does appear, it appears across from where the actual puzzle is to get it, which made a lot of players confused, as you need to grapple up to this secret area, fire a giant cannon at the mountain for it to drop down. I'm gonna go and put Count Dooku behind his dead master in A tier. I really loved what they did with the Force Lightning in this game, and Dooku has such a standout fighting style using Form 2. He is so underrated, and a part of me wants to put him above Ghost Yoda. However, Ghost Yoda is very strong, and with us not getting the Force Ghosts in the Skywalker saga, he is very special. Next up is a lot of people's least favorite LEGO game. It's LEGO Worlds. Everybody who has played LEGO Worlds has looked up a guide, because this LEGO game is so difficult to unlock all the characters and creatures in, and I'm gonna be real with you, it's a nightmare. Some characters only spawn in certain conditions and biomes, and with some you need to complete a gigantic questline to get an item like a smoothie or something to give to someone to be able to discover them. It is so daft and stupid. I haven't 100%ed this LEGO game in so long, but I remember wanting to pull my hair out so badly, and the hardest character for a lot of people was the Dragon Wizard, as you need to do a gigantic questline for a fire dragon egg to give to him, and it takes you to so many worlds, and the annoying thing is you cannot track any of these quest lines, and that's what makes them so hard. Squarefoot, otherwise known as Lego Bigfoot, was hard to find, and I'm not being funny, you've got a better chance of finding him in real life than in this game. Thankfully, the Dragon Wizard is worth the grind, as he can shoot fireballs which are super destructive, and I'm gonna go and place him in B tier above the Blacksmith. I just do not really care for him like the other harder characters on this tier list. He's good in the game though. Kamehameha! Next, it's Lego Ninjago, the movie, the video game. It's always a mouthful, innit? Always a mouthful. No other character would have been a better fit for the final character other than the Golden Ninja. For looks alone, he has got to go into a high tier. His multi-elemental spin jutsu is so handy early on in the game. Now, you might be thinking, well, you get him at the very end of the game when you have 220 gold bricks, so how is it useful early on? Well, there is a super easy glitch you can do to get behind these bars to grab the blind bag with him in. So yeah, you can get the Golden Ninja very early. Now, without cheating, he is the hardest character, and I'm gonna go and place him in A tier above Lord Business. If it was the LEGO Dimensions version of the Golden Ninja, I would have put him in S tier. Spin Jitsu is OP in that game. No wonder Dorothy ended up in Oz with this guy spinning about like this. He just looks so clean, and everyone loves a golden character. Remember the hype for Mr. Gold back in the day? I am still annoyed they cut him from LEGO Worlds. Looking at the tier list, I am definitely gonna move some characters around soon. Oh no, it looks like the timelines are merging. Next up, it's LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2. Swapping Deadpool with Gwenpool in LEGO Marvel 2 was not a good decision. Every time you look at this character, all you are reminded about is how the X-Men and Fantastic Four are not in this game. Well, you can find them as toys in a souvenir shop window. I never ever use this word, but oh my, Gwenpool is so cringy in this game. And she is just as hard to get as Deadpool. You have to beat loads of quests in the open world, and then you unlock the Gwenpool missions, and these are nowhere near the quality of the Deadpool levels. Now, Gwenpool is the second hardest character to unlock in this game, and number one is yet again Stan Lee, as you need all the Gwenpool missions to be able to get the final Stan Lee in peril. And like I mentioned earlier in the video, you guys know my thoughts on this version of Stan Lee, and I'm gonna go and put him in A tier just above Lord Business. Now, honey, where's my super suit? Next up, it's LEGO Incredibles. This LEGO game completely changed how you unlock characters, and they introduced this brand new blind bag system where you simply buy a bag with studs and you get a random character. I do quite like it, but once you get the stud multipliers, you can pretty much get nearly all of the characters. And did you notice I said nearly there, as the Pixar characters are unlocked in a different way, as you need to beat all of the crime waves in all the districts, and once you do so, you then unlock a Pixar build, and then you complete the build and you get a Pixar character. Now, to get the hardest character in LEGO Incredibles, you need to complete all of the Pixar builds, and then you get Junior, otherwise known as the Pixar Lamp. This character is so well made, and yes, when you jump around with him, it makes the iconic ba-doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. As much as he is fun to play, he only has one ability, and that is to illuminate dark places. So with this in mind, I'm going to go and place him in B tier just above Batmite, and do not worry, I'm going to organize B tier. I'm probably going to move a few characters down into C tier later on. We can finally explore Metropolis after all these years. Next up, it's LEGO DC Supervillains. When you 100% this LEGO game, you do not unlock a character as you might expect. Instead, you get a vehicle, Lex Luthor's mech, and it's really refreshing to not see a character locked behind getting 100% or near 100%. No characters are outrageously hard to get in LEGO DC Supervillains. You could argue that some of the file location characters may be a bit annoying to find. Now, I have to pick a hardest character, and looking at them all in the roster, Lobo definitely takes the longest to get, as you need to complete everything in Apocalypse, which honestly doesn't take long to access his quest. Now, Lobo made it onto my top 20 best LEGO DC characters list, and he flies around on a space dolphin. For that alone, he deserves to be at the top of A tier. He is Superman with guns, and he can do spin jitsu. How can you not love Lobo? Now, typically, up next would be LEGO Movie 2, but it went in a really weird direction with how you unlock characters. They brought in a loot box system where you open packs and get a random character. What is this, FIFA? So with it being complete RNG, I'm gonna skip over LEGO Movie 2. It is now time, though, for our final LEGO game on the list. Hit the hyperdrive. It's LEGO Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga. Everyone knows the most painful character to get in the Skywalker Saga is the Wandering Wookiee. Bro stands in the strangest of places and expects us to find him, plus talk to him on every planet. Your prize for doing all of this? a reskin of Chewbacca. Get in C tier, you big furry oaf. And there we go, that is my tier list for the hardest characters to unlock in LEGO games. I have switched a few characters around, and I will link the tier list below because I would love to see your tier list. And before you go, why not check out the best secret character from every LEGO game? Thanks so much for watching, everybody, and drop a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you in a bit. Adios!